what I want to show is the settings I use to get the most out of my gameplay. A lot of very important settings are off by default, but I'm going to teach you everything that you need to enable to give you the most out of your game. So, pretty much all we have to do, go to settings. I'm going to go through everything. In system settings, it doesn't really matter too much. Frame rate, obviously, you want maximum, as much frame as you can get, because the more frames, the more performance you have in your game. These settings don't really mean too much, but if you want a blue health bar, turn on colorblind mode, it'll change your health bar over to blue. So starting off at controls, these are some that are very important. So you have lowest health remaining HP, which is percent, value, and closest. Me personally, I've tried out both percent and value the most. I've had more success out of value. Don't do closest, this is troll. So attack controls, you want advanced controls, because as you can see, you get another option where you can attack wilds instead of opposing Pokemon. And this is also the same thing for mobile. It also gives you a button. So whether you're Switch or mobile, this setting will be incredibly important for you. So automatic basic attacks, you want to turn this off, because if you're in, like, say, a bush, you're trying to wait for an ambush, this could easily just reveal you. Now your ambush isn't working. And this setting doesn't matter too much, but what you want to do is you want to turn off in motion pursuit mode. So what this does, pretty much, if you were out of auto attack range of somebody or maybe a wild, and you're clicking A, it will force your character to turn around and to get into range to auto the closest target, which if you're running away and maybe you're clicking A to kite, you might just end up turning around and just dying. So scoring controls, pretty much you want to do press button rather than hold it down, because if you accidentally let go, then hey, you have to restart your score. But you can avoid that just by clicking the button. So lock on icon, I don't really use this. You can if you want, but what it does is bring up a wheel and you can pretty much select who you want to attack. This one is pretty much just preference. If you want this, that's fine. Me personally, I don't want it. So move panel sensitivity, pretty much this is the sensitivity on how fast you can aim your moves. I keep this at max because I want to be able to move my moves, or aim my moves as fast as possible, but that might not be the best for everyone, so play around with this setting, see what aim sensitivity is best for you. Camera follows move, I have that turned on. Pretty much if you have a move that goes off your screen, the camera follows it so you have more vision. Gives you, just be able to see more while you're using your moves rather than just having to guess if your move is too long of range. Move aim follows movement direction, this is also another thing where it depends on your preference. So how this one works is pretty much how it says, wherever you're moving, that's where your move is being aimed at. This is pretty good for things like Lucario, but like I said, it's just preference, so you can play around with it if you want, but it's not necessary. And then move aim snaps to nearby targets. This, as good as it might seem, it could easily throw you off, because like say you're aiming at one thing, but there's somebody else closer, it'll snap onto them first. So it makes things a little bit more tricky, and it feels kind of sticky. It's very clunky, to say the least. Minimap position, this all depends on your preference. I do top left, but you can do bottom right. So this one's a little bit interesting. I don't think this one matters any for mobile, but for Switch, there's button combination and there's single button. I personally think button combination is faster, because with the single button, you have to take your hands off of something important, like either your movement or an ability. You have to be able to click something on the D-pad. Meanwhile, with button combination, you can just hold L and then X or Y. So you can keep your hands on the controller, or on everything pretty much that is necessary to keep playing the game. Meanwhile, single button, you have to let go of something. So personally, I think button combination is better, but it's preference. So camera sensitivity, very important. The more you can see around on the map, the better. I don't have it too high because I want to be able to have control of it. Sometimes too fast is too fast. But play around with it, increase it, decrease it, move around your minimap, see how you like it. Aim assist, this does literally nothing, by the way. Like, you still have aim assist no matter what. So I just turn it off. I don't know, it's like, whether I have it on or off, it feels the exact same. I just have abilities locking on the target. So, battle info. Here's where another important setting is. So, if you want, you can hide other trainers' names or show their HP bar. Like, if you're very forgetful and you're duoing with someone and you forget who they are, you can have this setting on just so you are like, oh yeah, they're my Blissey. So, boosted attack gauge. This, I don't know why this is off by default, but this is very, very important because as you autos, it shows you your stacks, and then it tells you whenever you have your boosted auto available. So as you can see underneath the health bar, it has like the white auto as the stack, and then whenever you see the yellow, pretty much you know your next auto is going to be a boosted attack. And when you don't have this on, you have to keep track of your boosted auto in your head, where it's just easier to just, you know, see it. Show cooldown decimal values. I think this is important as well, because then you can get the exact time that your abilities are going to come off of cooldown, rather than just it being like 3, 2, 1. Now you have 2, 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. So it's a bit more accurate. So you know whenever to use your move exactly. And then outlines, hide text, like, you don't need this, but it's there, so you can play around with that. Here's your quick chat settings. I don't use this at all. I don't think it does anything, personally. So audio, if you want to listen to music, I recommend turning off your audio. I have my sound effects like half, and then my announcer like a fourth. I don't keep it high because I do like listening to music in the background because it is a MOBA, and I like listening to music while I play. Privacy settings, you can make yourself online, temporarily invisible, or just always invisible. You can turn off spectating, so if you don't want people to like check out your games, then you can turn that off. However, be warned, if somebody else is in your game that has spectating on, they can still spectate your game anyway. So if you want to be anonymous and pretty much, you know, check on people's profiles and not be caught or anything, it'll appear on their profile as anonymous, so pretty much you won't be seen. This could be very, very important for you. Declining invitations to form a team from players that aren't on your friends list. On some of my accounts, I have to have this on because there's times where I get spam invited so much to where I can't do anything and I have to switch accounts. It's kind of crazy how much I wasn't able to play the game because somebody was just spam inviting me over and over again. So if you want to avoid risking that, make sure you have this on because that'll definitely help you out. Hide trainer info. If you don't want people checking out your profile and checking out your matches, you can turn that on. Lobby ID, that's just if you want to hide the lobby ID whenever you're looking for your ranked, your standard, or your quick match. Friendship points, pretty much just friendship points if you want to see them. If you don't want to see them, that's fine. And then here, you can actually remap your buttons. So if like, you know, maybe you wanted your move 1 and move 2 to be swapped, you can rebind them to each other. I have never actually used this. All of my stuff is default, but if you want to use them in the future, go right ahead. And then account settings, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my settings. A lot of it is just kind of feel for it, but there's a really good amount of them that will really improve your gameplay. So